Well, hello, and welcome to this video where we talk about the free fall and the chaos that the middle of the island is in. And there's a lot of crime that News 12 covered that I'm gonna show you, as well as some of the stories that are on their website, but they didn't cover tonight. But I will say, before I even get started, that News 12's actually been doing a very good job covering the crime in the middle of the island. It's impossible to ignore what's happening. You know, we have the street lights out all over the place. You know, things aren't getting fixed. That's because the tax base is fleeing. People are leaving. That's a sign of decline when the towns and the villages can't keep up their infrastructure. So let's go right now and look at what News 12 covered tonight, because what you will see, as I'll go here to the web page here for a minute here. News 12, over here, you'll see this was their lead story tonight that you're going to see. A man arrested for attempted murder of parents in New Hyde Park. And as you'll see, most of the people they interviewed were people of color. This is what I mean. This is what I've been talking about, that the areas where a lot of people of color live are getting all the problems dumped in them, while the whitest areas on the South Shore get to be safe for most of it. So it's just a perfect example of everything I've been talking about. So right now, let's take a look and see what News 12 covered tonight. They actually did an excellent job covering news tonight and chronicling the decline of the middle of the island. We're actually going to watch News 12 tonight, and they actually did a very good job covering the downfall of the middle of the island, because we've got lots and lots of crime going on in the middle of the island. That's going to be that they have been covering. So let's get started here, because this is just more confirmation of everything I've been talking about.
Right now on News 12, a heartbreaking scene in New Hyde Park. A man is arrested for trying to kill
New Hyde
his
Park.
parents.
New Hyde Park's finished.
I'm very sorry.
You are.
I'm very sorry.
A pedestrian in a wheelchair is hit and killed in Coram.
Middle of the
man
island.
charged in the incident speaks with
Also
News
middle of the
12,
island.
leaving the court.
It protected my house and my children and other neighbors as well.
And neighbors react to what
Uniondale,
they're calling a shocking
middle of the island.
crash scene outside of their homes in Uniondale.
That's also middle of the
And
island.
we have a taste of spring in our forecast. We'll be breaking down all the details of what you need to know coming up.
Welcome into News 12, everyone. I'm Tima Ponton. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday night. We begin tonight in Nassau, where a New Hyde Park community is stunned to hear allegations of a double attempted murder. Police say a 24-year-old man has been arrested for trying to kill his parents. News 12's Liz Burke is on that block right now.
Yeah, this is what we have living in our area, folks. Killers.
Good evening, Tama. The son is accused of assaulting his parents with a knife and holding one of them by the neck. Police say the parents suffered severe lacerations and were taken to the hospital.
This is sick.
You may find some of this video disturbing.
I can't believe it. To do that to your own parents, I have no words.
Residents in this New Hyde Park community say they can't believe their neighbor is accused of trying to murder his own parents Saturday night. A bloody shirt and blood could still be seen on the ground and on a car Sunday.
It's surprising. You never really hear of stories like that here. It's a quiet neighborhood.
Nassau police say
Not anymore.
24-year-old Joshua Wilk.
And note, not interviewing preppy white people. Well, that's why. That's why. If it's not a neighborhood full of preppy white people, then this is what you're going to have living there. This is what they're dumping in.
Entered his parents' bedroom while they were sleeping and began assaulting his 64-year-old.
I can't believe they left the crime scene like that. They didn't clean that up.
In their Cherrywood.
They left the blood there, and they didn't clean that up.
Their Cherrywood Drive home. Neighbors told us off camera the father rang nearby doorbells asking for someone to call 911. Wilk is accused of putting his arms around one of his parents' necks outside the home. Police say responding officers removed Wilk from the victim and arrested him.
I don't know his situation, what's going on in his household.
This
You see,
neighbor
it's
who
not a
didn't
lily
want to go
white
on
neighborhood.
camera, but spoke
That's what's being
exclusively with
redlined.
News 12 went to the same high school as Wilk. She says she didn't know him personally.
I don't know what he's going through mentally or whatever it is, but it's very scary, and I hope his family finds
Storage facility in Garden City Park
burglarized.
burglarized. Middle of the island's under siege It's under siege.
And police say both victims are listed in critical but stable condition. Wilk is expected to be arraigned tomorrow on multiple charges, including attempted murder in the second degree. In New Hyde Park, Liz Burke, News 12, Long Island.
All right, Liz, thank you for that on-the-scene report. What a heartbreaking story. Well, tonight we are learning that 2 Nassau University Medical Center nurses were attacked by a patient.
Oh,
Police
that's also
tell us
middle of the islands.
55-year-old Vincent Petrillo swung
Oh,
a
he's from
wheelchair
Mineola.
footrest at a 68-year-old male nurse, injuring his right hand. Police say when hospital staff tried to restrain Petrillo, he injured a 60-year-old nurse's right knee. Petrillo will be arraigned on 3 counts of
Unbelievable.
assault when medically able.
The middle of the island is in a free
A
fall,
man
man.
accused of driving on drugs and killing a pedestrian in a wheelchair faced a judge today, and he spoke with News 12's Carmen Grant while leaving the courtroom.
Nicholas
Coram, middle of the islands.
To the victim's family in court. He pleaded not guilty to driving while on drugs. We have video of this tragic scene. We want to warn folks it may be disturbing to some.
Nicholas, anything to say to the family?
I'm very sorry.
You are.
I'm very sorry.
What happened, Nicholas?
Nicholas Taylor stopped talking to us as he left his arraignment today at First District Court in Central Islip. The 25-year-old is charged with driving while ability impaired by drugs. Police say he struck Raymond Hubbard on Middle Country Road in Coram late Saturday night. Authorities say Hubbard was attempting to cross this roadway in his wheelchair when somehow he fell out of his chair. Police say the defendant struck the 33-year-old.
Look at all the trash on the road there.
He was laying right.
This is horrible,
here.
man.
His head was facing south, okay, and the cops were surrounding him.
Pools
Do
of
we
blood
really need
still
that hat?
remain on the road where Hubbard was
And they
struck
left the blood
killed.
there.
John Getty
I guess
says
that's what they
he
think
saw
of us in the
victim
middle of the
just
islands.
before the accident in his
They don't
bright
even
yellow
clean-
wheelchair.
I should have stopped and helped him out, you know. I just seeing him go up this hill. I mean, he was all leaned over in the chair, and he was like.
This
You
is
know,
horrible.
pushing
But
like
this is
this.
the way Long Island treats people with
During
disabilities.
Taylor's arraignment today, prosecutors told the court a driver flashed their lights at the defendant. They say Dox Taylor also admitted to police at the scene that he had taken 5 hits of marijuana when he got behind the wheel. As for the defendant, he was released on supervised release. He is due back.
Yeah, he was
on
released.
Thursday.
He's not even in jail. He killed someone.
And new information for you tonight as a woman is seriously injured after a head-on crash with a truck in Brentwood. Police say Escoto Zavala was hit by the Freightliner
Middle of the
tractor
island
trailer
again.
head-on early this morning.
Look at all these bad things that
Police
happen in the middle of the
driving an
island, I'm
SUV
telling you.
Eastbound on Wicks Road when it happened around
News 12,
3
you're doing a
o'clock.
great job
Police say
tonight.
the
They're
truck
actually doing
driver
a
remained
great
on the
job
scene.
covering all of
And
this.
2 men are injured after a crash in Uniondale. Police say one of the victims was pulled from the wrecked SUV, and the other was found by officers walking away from the scene. According to police, the SUV hit a pole and
Middle of
flipped
the island
over
again.
on Jerusalem Avenue near Liberty Street. This happened Saturday around 5 o'clock in the morning. A neighbor tells us the crash was a shocking scene.
It ran into the tree. Somebody don't really realize how important the tree is. But it protected my house and my children and other neighbors as well.
The men injured are 36 and 45 years old. Police tell us both of them were passengers. Right now, police say what happened to the driver is under investigation. And 5 people are displaced
middle of the
tonight
island
after their
again.
home went up in flames in Uniondale.
Uniondale again.
Fire officials tell us none of them were inside the home on Uniondale Avenue when those flames broke out. We're told 4 dogs were rescued from inside around 2 o'clock this afternoon.
All these fires going on in the middle of the
Helping those
island.
displaced
You know,
residents.
it's just-
The cause of that fire is now
The middle of
under
the island is just-
investigation.
You know,
And we have new photos for you now of a kayaker rescued a quarter of a mile outside of Moriches Inlet. Take a
This
look
is
with
the
us here
South
as
Shore, of
fire
course.
officials tell us they found the man conscious with a life vest on. Now they took a boat out to go find him.
so we're going to forward past this already. But I mean, they've really been covering a lot. Oh,
Action underway in Babylon. Suffolk.
all right. So we have one crime on the South Shore. So
A burglary investigation underway in Babylon. Suffolk police tell us they received a call for a burglary at Village Pharmacy and Surgical around 1 this
I don't know
afternoon.
where that is.
It's unclear right now what was taken. No arrests have been made. Well, there will be a police presence at.
I mean, but you notice that the majority of the crime, for like every like 5 or 6 crimes in the middle of the island, maybe there's one on the South Shore. So we're getting 6 times the amount of crime that they get on the South Shore, basically.
At Long Island Lutheran middle and high schools tomorrow. School officials tell us there was an anonymous threat made to the school over the break.
This is what's happened to my
sent a
Long
letter
Island
to parents
folks.
saying police investigated and encouraged them to open. But according to the letter, the Brookville Police Department will be patrolling all week
Across the
out
North
of an
Shore.
abundance of caution.
All right, here's more crime.
A driver smashes into a parked car and takes off in Holtsville. Police tell us they are investigating the
Holtsville,
incident.
isn't that the middle of the island too?
Around
Yep, it
8:45
is.
on Washington Avenue. The homeowner sharing this video with us. You can see there it appears to show the driver moving slowly in reverse before smashing into the parked car.
Oh, it's a pickup
No
too.
arrests have been made. Well, there are unanswered questions in Rockville Center tonight after a grim discovery.
Of course, they've been covering this a lot.
Skeletal remains were found in a wooded area near
It's a homeless
Peninsula Boulevard
person,
and Lakeview Avenue
unfortunately.
Friday. Police say the body was underneath a tent at an abandoned encampment, indicating that it had been there for some time. Right now, the victim has not been identified. The remains have been brought to the medical examiner as part of the investigation.
All right, so we're going to just play some of the other stories now that you've seen. This is the other thing that happened in the middle of the island. The burglary of a storage facility in Garden City Park.
Police are investigating a burglary at a storage facility in Garden City Park. Officers tell us that multiple units were broken into at Extra Space Storage on Herrick's Road. They say this happened sometime between February 10th and Friday night.
So they only found out about it now, that stuff has been, a storage facility. Stuff isn't even safe in a storage facility in the middle of the island.
It's unclear right now what was taken. No arrests have been made.
But I know exactly where that is. That is right over here in this area here, Garden City Park. It's actually right, I think it's the storage facility right over the Extra Space Storage right over here. This is the area right here where it happened. And it doesn't surprise me because this is an area that's, all right, this is an old street view. I guess they don't have the storage facility. This is now a storage facility. But this is an area that has been redlined. Yeah, there's the storage facility. And look at the shape of the roads. Things aren't getting taken care of here. This is an area that's, being redlined, just like all these other areas. Because, again, once the area goes less than a certain percent white, the powers that be start dumping the criminals in, start neglecting the area, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a lot of neglect going on. So the other crime that happened in New Hyde Park was off Cherrywood Drive, which is a little further north here. It's actually North New Hyde Park, but this North New Hyde Park and you think, oh, this is a fancy area, right? Well, it used to be a well-to-do area, but it's changing because they're putting the problems in, and it's unfortunate. It really is. You can see the old street lights and stuff. At least the roads look like they're in decent shape, but it's starting over here too. Even it says Manhasset Hills actually, but I guess they called it New Hyde Park. But yeah, this area here, it's right by the ShopRite where they have a lot of crime going on here. You got Glen Oaks over here, which is full of crime. So you see what's going on here. You see the big picture. You see the crime that is coming out of the city from places like Glen Oaks and coming here. The crime is moving east into this area here. And it's spreading throughout the whole middle of the island. Mineola, Westbury, Hicksville, this whole area here is getting a surge of crime. Think of it like, we can think of it like this. Elmont, too, by the way. There was shots fired in Elmont. Laura Uhl has that. That wasn't even covered. But Elmont, too, this whole, except maybe Levittown, this whole area here is under siege. And the problems are coming in like a torrent of problems coming in. So Laura Uhl actually covered some stuff, but she doesn't even actually have it on her website. It was only on her social media. So I have to go onto her Facebook and go from here because it was only on the social media. That's the stabbing. There was an armed robbery at a McDonald's in Roosevelt. And let's see, there was a shooting. I don't know. I thought I saw something about Elmont. Maybe it was on News 12. I don't know. Maybe it was on News 12. I don't know. Might have been on News 12, but there was something about bullets found in Elmont. I read that somewhere as well. I can't even keep up with what's going on here. So if we go to the crime tab here on the News 12 page, you'll see all the stuff that's New Hyde Park, Garden City Park, Coram. 3 suspects wanted for a car robbery in Westbury.
Men this afternoon responsible for a
here.
violent robbery in Westbury. Detectives say a 34-year-old man parked his car on Corporate Drive this morning around 5:30
This is Corporate Drive, so this isn't even in the village of Westbury.
a.m. when a white sedan with 3 men pulled up. They say the 2 of the men got out of the car, approached the victim, and then took out a gun while demanding for his car keys. That's when police say that the suspect hit the victim in the head with a gun, causing him to bleed. They say that the 2 victims
So they pistol whipped him.
drove off with the victim's car after demanding for him to get out.
Car. And this was on Corporate Drive in Westbury. So, again, it's in that area that's under siege. Corporate Drive, which, again, isn't in the village of Westbury. This is actually this general area here. And this is Corporate Drive right here. You know, you got Target. You got, I don't know where you'd park on Corporate Drive because there aren't any spaces. But maybe he was parked in a parking lot somewhere. And yeah, this area is going down fast. It's funny because they built this luxury apartment complex. I mean, the Selby, right here. All right. The Selby. Yeah, the Selby. This is an old street view, of course. Doesn't have it. But this is the Selby here. All right. And we'd see it from the road here. Yeah, so this is the Selby right here. This is as of April 2023. They opened up this, and you wonder, all right, who is going to spend that kind of money to live in such a crappy area? These are going to probably be, a lot of these are probably going to become Airbnbs, and who knows what else. I mean, I saw illegals hanging out here. Just the other day I saw illegals when I was here a few weeks ago. We were driving around my relative. There were illegals hanging out there. I mean, this is not a good area. Why would you spend a lot of money to live here? People are going to get the message, and eventually these places will either be abandoned or they'll be Section 8 or they'll be Airbnbs. Who knows what they're going to do with them? Or they'll put more criminals in because that's what they're doing all over the middle of the island. That's the sad reality of what's happening here. And then we go further down the crime tab. Here's Mineola. There's so much crime going on. We're going to draw this out on the map here. And just show you what's going to be going on here.
Stolen from a Mineola church. Detectives say a man walked into Corpus Christi Church Thursday evening around 4 p.m.
Right
he
by
broke
my neighbor,
4
right where I live.
donation boxes, then took the cash inside. The church is located on Garfield Avenue. And about 4 hours later, money was also taken from this spot in Mineola. We're told someone stole $50 from the Cologne and Spa on Jericho Turnpike. It's only about a mile from the church, and police tell us it's too soon to say if the two
might be connected, perhaps, but we have criminals roaming around Mineola. Mineola is this is Mineola here. This is Mineola. Does this look like the kind of community you want to be walking around? Day or night? This was taken during the day. And it was a weekday, too. I'll remind you. It was taken during the day. Is this a place you want to be walking around? Does this look like the kind of place you want to be walking around? I don't think so. We have the trash, of course. That's all put here. That's including a stuffed animal that somebody dumped. This is a very, very, not only is it a very depressing place to live, but it is also a very dangerous place to live. And I need to be getting out of here. I really do. I really do need to be getting out of here. This is Garden City. And Garden City, as we know, is going down the tubes. You saw my video already about that. Well, people will deny it. They're like, oh, you deny the obvious. I walked through the middle of the town and it was dead. All right, you tell me how it's not good. Compare this to the South Shore. This is Wantagh. All right. You got people on the streets, traffic well lit, everything's taken care of. That's the train station. Look at all the traffic on the streets. There's always traffic. There's always cars driving by. It's not dead. This is Belmore. I mean, literally, there isn't even a spot to park on a Saturday night here. I think it was a Saturday night, not even a spot. People looking for spaces. Everybody, even downtown Belmore. It's all about the South Shore. You've got to be under the South Shore. Again, Belmore. Hopping. Full house there at the Pierogi Bites here. This is where all the commerce is. This is where all the people are. And yeah, it's a certain demographic. It's that white finance professional. You've got to be with the white finance professionals. It sucks, but that's what's going on. Rockville Center also hopping. You come back to the middle of the island. Yeah, this is funny. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy our burgers. Actually, it can buy happiness because if you're rich enough, you can get to live in the enclave, especially if you got white skin. For the rest of us, we're just stuck in the middle of nowhere over here with the street lights out, no life. I mean, this old country road on a Saturday night. I mean, it's dead. There's nobody here. Nobody's home. Where is everybody? There's nobody here. Nobody wants to be here. People know it's unsafe. They're afraid to come. I can't blame them. This is a depressing place to be. It really is. It's a depressing place to be. So let's go to the map here, and let's just play that video again from News 12 one more time about what happened in New Hyde Park. All right, because it's very interesting, and they did a good job covering this, but it shows you. Look at the people they interview. Person of color. So what do you think they're moving the problems in? And the sad thing is they didn't even clean up this. They left this mess here. The cops left this like this. They didn't clean this up at all. I mean, and the same thing happened in Coram. It's like, when the South Shore would be cleaned up. No, they just leave it like that. I mean, this is the way Nassau County treats people of color. Oh, because we're not as important as those white finance professionals. No, we're not. We're not those preppy white finance professionals. We don't get, what these people get. No, they're in their own. Here, these people. You got to be with these people. It sucks. It's racist. It's wrong on so many levels. But you got to be with these people. They're the only people that didn't get to be safe in Nassau County. Wall Street runs this county. You have a county executive that only cares about them. You have a governor that only cares about them. So no matter what, we're screwed. So let's go to the map now, and we're going to just map out everything. It's not to say there's no crime on the South Shore, but for every 7 or 8 crimes in the middle of the island, there's one on the South Shore. All right, we can go right here. We're going to go through all the reports here. Here, and I guess I'll pull up the whole island here. See if we can get a good map, a good view of most of Long Island here for you, and show you all the crimes that have occurred. All right, we'll just put a dot here. New Hyde Park. We have the attack on the parents there. That hopefully they'll be okay and they'll make it. The burglary of a. Why is this not wanting to draw now? All of a sudden. The burglary of... Why are you not drawing? There you go. The burglary of that Garden City Park storage place. Then we've got the burglary of the beauty salon in Mineola and the church. Then we have the robbery, the carjacking in Westbury. All right? Then we have the man attacking the... we have the other thing that happened in Mineola, too, with that I covered a while ago, with a few days ago, with that exterminator. It's another crime in Mineola. It's 3 crimes in Mineola. All right? And then if you want to count a fourth, the Mineola man that assaulted a hospital worker in East Meadow. Another red dot on there. All right? So, And then we go further out east. We have the person hitting that person in a wheelchair in Coram. We got the Holbrook, I think, car getting hit. It just goes on and on and on here in the middle. It just goes on and on, but you see the area that's really getting the brunt of it. Oh, yeah, and then the bullets in Elmont, which we don't have a thing for yet. The car accident in Uniondale. But you see the area that's really getting the brunt of it right here, don't you? It's this area. Central Nassau County. This area right here. Central Nassau is in a free fall. And it's scary. I need to move out of here, but we all know what I'm up against. I'm against an agency who doesn't feel the need to move me, doesn't really give a crap about my safety because they care more about their bottom line. I'm up against the housing market and the snobs that don't want me to live with them in their little enclaves that I need to live in so I can survive. And it's all part of the bigger plan. And we know where that plan winds up. We know where it winds up. It winds up in somewhere else, not Long Island. They want to force us out. This is all designed to drive us out. If you're not a white finance professional, if you're not one of these preppy people here, you're not going to have a good quality of life on Long Island. You're not. You got to be one of these preppy people here. These are the only kind of people that matter on Long Island, especially Nassau County, because you have a county executive that only cares about them. Bruce Blakeman, this guy, who's been all over the news lately, by the way, because of what he did. This guy, this piece of garbage right here, all right? He only cares about the Wall Street crowd on the South Shore. He doesn't care about the crime. He doesn't care about the quality of life that's declining for all the people of color in Nassau County. I mean, he is a racist, but that's what it is. Trump made racism okay again. He made America hate again. I said it over and over again. I'll say it again. What's happening on Long Island is a classic example of that. And if you're not in one of those enclaves, if you're not in these towns here in Nassau County, if you're not in Lynbrook or Rockville Center, or well, at least Rockaway's good too, even Oceanside. If you're not over here, probably Eula too. If you're not over here, if you're not in Merrick, Belmore, Wandsworth, general area here, if you're not over there, or if you're not over here, I'm just talking about Nassau County here. But if you're not in these parts of Nassau County, and maybe Levittown too, for Levittown's okay. But if you're not in these parts of Nassau County, then your quality of life is finished. It's all about the Wall Street people that live here. They're the ones that it's all about being with them. And you got to fight. You got to get on your hands and knees. I'm going to have to get on my hands and knees and beg and maybe do some rather humiliating things that are bad for my self-esteem, like beg, to be let in, because that's my only lifeboat left in Nassau County. If I can't get on that lifeboat, then I've got to be cast aside on the sea of heartbreak here. And it's going to suck. It's going to suck. The sea of heartbreak is a lonely, lonely place, especially Tom's River. It's lonely there, all right? I'm not going to mince words. It's lonely, all right? But I need to be safe. And it's not safe here in Mineola anymore, and I got to get out. Time is up. Thank you for watching.